Hey everyone, so I'm going to go through and look at the serial problem for Kate's cards. We're going to look at chapter 3 and 4. So first things first, before you even start, I would go ahead and work through the chapter because it'd be very hard to do these unless you already know accounting without going through the chapter. If you've already read it, you can go to the additional materials. I'm going to go to chapter 3. You can see that there's some e-lectures and guided examples. So these guided examples, the Your Turn and the comprehensive problem, would be good places to get some examples to start before you go ahead and try the problem on your own. So chapter 3, the serial problem, is a lot longer than chapter 4. So just so you know, there's a lot of transactions to do for the chapter, and you can see it starts out on this page and then continues on to the next page all the way for 14 transactions. So then you have to do the transactions, you have to post the entries, then you have to do the trial balance, then you have to do your financial statements, then you have to do a closing, then you have to do a post-closing trial balance. You can see that this is going through the entire accounting cycle basically. So there's a template that I made for you. So you have the journal entries, so you can put those in, and then you have a template for the posting the general ledger, where I include a few check figures for you. Part C is the trial balance. Notice I started you off on the accounts, but then I'm going to let you finish them up, and I even gave you a check figure. And then the income statement, you have to do that. So using the information from the trial balance, you create the income statement, then you do the statement of stockholders' equity, then you do your balance sheet. Right? I gave you a check figure there, and obviously if you understand the balance sheet, you know that the liabilities and equity have to add up to that too. Then you have to do the closing entries, then you have to do the post-closing trial balance. You notice you have a lot less room for the post-closing trial balance because you close out your temporary accounts, which are part of your income statement. Go through that. That's going to take you the longest amount of time to do is this chapter 3. Chapter 4 is not as technical in the sense that you're not doing a lot of entries. However, they ask you a lot of questions that you need to explain. And you need to make sure you pay attention to these and don't just brush this off and put a few words that don't make any sense, because this is worth a fair bit of your grade. So don't brush these problems off. Each question has to do with taking a set of financials for a potential customer that Kate found at a trade conference. The customer gave Kate a set of their financial statements so she could make an assessment of the company before she gets into a commitment with them. So then they ask you some questions, and you're to use different types of ratios and the information that you learned in the chapter in order to make an analysis of the company. Make sure that you answer these completely. I do have a template for you. So the template has little text areas that you can expand or add to if you want to answer each of the questions from A down to G. Make sure you're specific. If you use a ratio or use any kind of concept or term, explain it to me. Give a definition or an explanation of it. I don't know that you understand it, so you need to let me know you understand it. Then tell me what that ratio can tell you and why she would want to know that. In other words, like a reporter, explain all the different aspects of the question. And remember, spelling and grammar count. Good luck.